a mysterious website named where'smatpat.com. This is going to be a place that I update every once in a while when I have news about some new project that's coming up, or, you know, a mystery that you're going to have to solve by digging through the source code. Yes, it's a ripoff of scottgames.com. No, I don't feel bad about that, because this is my idea, so kind of owes me. Drop on some sunglasses in this moment. Yeah, that's a good one. Once you're there, make sure you sign up via email. Don't worry, I'm not going to be spamming you with updates or anything. It'll be more like a Matpat, or maybe a Christmas card that you get every once in a while with a funny update. Maybe we could chat about a favorite movie or something. I'll send over the occasional video that I'm just inspired to make. Who knows? Basically, this is just meant to be a way to let you all know what I'm up to directly in a way that isn't going to be subject to filtering algorithms, you know? To kick things off this week, I'll be selecting random emails that sign up to get personalized letters. And forward once or twice a week, I'll continue pulling emails to personal notes to. I'll stay in touch. Long story short, make sure you bookmark it, since you never know what's over there. But enough stalling. Question at hand: how do you say goodbye? I think you honestly did it all where it began. This title, Game Theory, about game theory. Did you know game theory isn't just a nerdy show? It's also a nerdy economics concept. If that's I honestly can't blame you. At this point, we've created enough confusion online that apparently we've merited our own disambiguation tag on Wikipedia for game theory searches. In all seriousness, for the first 5 years of the show, I received so many tweets from people who are mid-year in their economics courses, screenshotting their textbooks, freaking out when they got to the episode on game. It's not an episode, it's a chapter. When they got to the on game theory, being like, "Oh my gosh, dude, did you know that you were in this thing?" Yeah, we definitely did. The pun, believe it or not, was intentional. In fact, Steph and I knew from the very beginning that it was likely that the final episode of Game Theory was going to be about theory. Why? Well, theory, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. If you've ever seen the movie Love Actually, there's actually this opening monologue in it that goes a little something like this.
We live in a world of hatred and greed, but I don't see that. It seems to me that love is everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find that love actually is all around.
Now you just got to replace the word love with game theory, and you basically got it.
We live in a world of hatred and greed, but I don't see that. It seems to me that
game theory
is everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find
theory
actually is all around.
Huh. Did that English acting megastar and recent Oompa Loompa man would be making a guest appearance in my final episode. Truly, we have spared no expense. And not only is game theory just everywhere, it also holds the secret to winning everything forever. Yeah, I know, right? That is a huge claim to make. Clearly, I was saving all my biggest secrets for the grand finale. So, you know what? Let's not beat around the bush anymore, my friends. Let's make you masters of the universe. How, whether you like it or not, you all are theorists for life. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, we're moving off the this time. That's how you know it's a big deal. Let's go. At its core, game theory is the science of strategy. So, we understand strategy, but what exactly is game theory specifically? Well, to understand that, you have to go back to the original game theorist, not me, this guy. This here. He might not have himself the red leather jackets or the cool diamond play buttons, but I'll tell you what he does have. A crater on the moon named after himself, so I'll let you decide who has the bigger flex there. This guy right here, he is mathematician John von Neumann, and he was everywhere back in the day. And I do mean everywhere. Like, this guy was a key player in the invention of the digital computer. He helped with the discovery of the structure of DNA, even the creation of key components for Oppenheimer's Manhattan Project. You know, the Christopher Nolan movie where big things go big booms. But perhaps his biggest claim to fame was game theory. The idea that in any situation where there are two or more people, or players in this case, you can model out a game that'll help you find the best outcome. Have you ever played rock, paper, scissors and thrown out rock hand? Because you know statistically most their first move to be scissors, or maybe you picked paper because the last 3 moves have been rock and they're obviously going to be thrown rock again. Well, congratulations. That is game theory in action. And he got a Medal of Freedom for that. So it just goes to show, don't let your dreams just be dreams, kids. Sometimes getting an honorary medal is a lot easier than you think. In short, game theory is the study of strategic choice. It's math that tells you what people are going to do and who's going to win the game. Probably the most famous example of a game theory scenario is the prisoner's dilemma, where 2 accomplices have just committed the crime and they're both given the chance to narc on the other one. If they both deny the crime, well, they both get a short prison sentence. If one of them denies the crime and and the other rats him out, and Narc walks free while his buddy is stuck in prison for a long time. And if they both confess, they both get a medium sentence. We can model the possible outcomes here in a nice, neat, mathy-looking square. And while technically the best outcome for both of them would be to trust each other and not confess, they're criminals, and they don't know each other that well. And because they don't trust each other, by the math, both of them narc on each other, and as a result, get a medium amount of prison time. Or if that all's too complicated, over in England, thing into a where they say the word balls and uncomfortable.
Why did I say London? I meant Big Ben.
Golden balls of riches, 12 balls roll golden. One golden balls, and bursting with money. Killer balls, balls.
Now, why am I bringing all this up? Well, game theory is just wads of cash jammed into a bunch of balls. Someone should tell Mr. Beast that I just discovered his next video idea. No, it has very real consequences. Back when the U.S. were on the brink of atomic annihilation, the principles of game theory helped both sides to slowly nuclear. If you want to know the story, Veritasium's recent video on does a great job telling it, and honestly, I can't really improve on it. So thanks for doing all the research for my final episode there, Derek. If you want an example that's a bit closer to home, though, here you go. YouTube. It's got YouTube. Platform is just a bunch of zeros and ones, right? But YouTube as a community, it's a network of people constantly trying to make strategic decisions. Creators are players who are more or less rational people making that'll get you to watch and like and subscribe. You, are also a player in this. The strategic mission, the experience by finding its most satisfying to watch. And the people who run or have run YouTube in the past, shout out to Todd, Jake, Neil, Meg, Aaron, Susan, David, Fede, Vader, Steph. They're strategic game that keeps the creators and viewers also figuring out the outcome for YouTube as a company and all the advertising shareholders. A complex arena, and that's how you get decisions like use text because it's more stand out, dark gaming thumbnails and get clicks. Launch shorts as a means to counterattack against TikTok. Do something that's not true and stand out from the pack, or maybe you lean in so you're suggested against the algorithm. Every video you watch, every click on, it's the product leaders use theory.
Secret.
In front of every title and slam some
Where's the secret code?
all those hundreds of millions of subscribers. Ryan, Cocomelon, I like to think that they're all secretly there's 100 million subscribers on their YouTube. In the end, it's all game theory. Speaking of, and this is just an aside that I learned about earlier this week, apparently there's a that allows you to do what I just described. It quote-unquote Matpatifies your YouTube feed by putting green text on like every thumbnail. Just saying, we have reached of human achievements. I, for one, really like this one, where it's Link and saying mommy's hungry. That's just traumatic on a whole nother level. There was one that I saw circulating online, Ryan Gosling doing a puppy interview and birth of a killer. There's one that showed Reddit, Afton's final death. I gotta say, I am proud of the mark that I will leave on this platform.
Mommy's
Right? YouTube is game theory. Sure, that's interesting, but why does it matter to you, right? Why am I spending so much time talking about all of this? Well, game theory can help in every strategic interaction. It's produced a literal strategy on the best way to live out your life, tried and tested by all our grandparents. To understand that, we have to go back. It all began glorified power. Weboverse, to introduce you to, lights please, the Trust Game. I love this. We started as PowerPoint and we're as glorified PowerPoint slides. Here's the LDR. The Trust Game was originally just named Tournament. A guy named Rod, clearly creative with his titling conventions. Basically, this first dilemma or the golden, except here there was one crucial difference. They're not just playing the game once, literally playing it hundreds of times, repeating it over and over again to see what strategies end up winning the most across a longer period. This then gives us a model that's shockingly closer to real life, because most of the time, you're not just thinking about what you have in a single game, you have to actually think about the consequences of actions. The more people think about the future, the more they're willing to cooperate because they want to see themselves over down the road, you know? Again, for details on that experiment, check out Derek Veritasium's video where he all of that, including having an interview with a very cool video. I also borrowed his for that one, so thanks for the latter and the there, Derek. You can also watch Dr. Trevor Bassett's video on, or the very that are all this experiment. We'll link to all of those down in the description below. But to jump to the big here, the strategy to winning it big boils down to key points. Number 1, lead with trust. Assuming that the person you're playing with is your enemy right off, it's not going to serve you. Trust in others, it's going to let you win more frequently in the end. Secondly, be a pushover. Sure, it's good to be trusting, that is, but the takes advantage of your winning strategy is to call them out on it and then immediately hold, which leads nicely then to being. Don't hold a grudge. Don't be a Mr. Darcy.
My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
That is a failing indeed.
You tell him, girl. You are exactly right. She's
Going
speaking some
back.
game theory there. Sure, if your trust broken, staying open to the other people can change. They can grow and learn and get better. That is the ideal solution here. The trust that players build their gave them actually won out than any other. And lastly, it's important to be honest and open. Strategy. You can't understand what you're. That's this trust starts to breed. By being honest, it breeds others. It allows you to build on that trust over time, step by bit. Thousands of rounds. Nice strategies that were fair, but also won out the most. Now, when I read these outcomes, what really struck me first was how they present a hopeful view of the world. A hopeful view that none of us down. I mean, it's easy to think that everyone out there is out to get you, and it's easier to just close off to people who've wronged us in the past, but math, and game theory specifically, proves that assumption's wrong. And hey, if you don't want to believe the thousands of rounds of computer simulations, it's a very real-life example, YouTube. YouTube is a positive-sum game, which means that more than one person can win. And in fact, sometimes others win, the more you can win too. Just starting off, I was so mad and scared when Vsauce 3 released this calculating Sonic. I'd been working for a year on the channel at that point, grinding away and seeing a fair amount of growth, but in that moment I saw a spin-off of one of YouTube's top subscribed channels just horning in on a story of gaming science. They were going to steamroll me. They were my audience. So I did a video where I tried to stake my claim. Thus, Hello was born.
Hello and welcome to Theory. Applying science video games since 18th of 2011. However, a new gaming has come. The good folks over Vsauce 3 recently and a series I covered in episode 5. Great, except for one thing.
Listen to my voice in that. Oh, I'm so proud that I finally hit puberty 7 years into making videos. Anyway, you can tell that I'm super salty in this one, right? I'm thinking that I didn't for the dates. I am trying to one-up Vsauce 3. But then something happened. I got from Vsauce. I saw that their video and mine helping. I was so afraid of me losing a year of hard-earned progress. But I wasn't just on my own island anymore. Intentionally cooperating here, we just created a little micro-trend of science content. There were clearly enough for all of us. Steph and I, consulting, kept hammering home this one point, that YouTube is a place where all ships can rise. Leading with trust goes a long way. From inviting someone to collab on your channel, to comparing notes on because it can help you both. You actually have cooperative game theory in action with or QS creators or other and sharing audiences. On the flip side, there have done a good job with trust, and who YouTube as some place where there can be one winner. In 2020, a few creators tried to take each other, urging viewers not to watch each other, to turn audiences against people that they thought were their competitors. It was for the views, backfired. In fact, it backfired so that all of their channels massive hit, and the beauty vertical, which was once a main pillar of YouTube's earliest, never truly recovered. Whether the platform thrives, lights, but by thinking that you win when other people lose, well, that's when everyone loses. It's kind of sad. Let's move on. But if you don't want to listen to mathematicians or YouTube meta-analyses, just look at me. Game Theory, the show, is a testament to those 4 lessons of game theory, the nerdy economics concept. Every person who's built this channel has led with trust. Ronnie, he put his own show on the back burner so he could dedicate his time to editing Game Theory, trusting that we would be able to succeed more together. He helped the show to truly become what I had always dreamed it would be, and I honestly wish that he could be here to this day so I could thank him so much for that. The same is true for Goomba and Drake and Lee and Ryder and all the other partner shows who joined up with us in lieu of working on their own channels. Steph, she left being a consultant at a real company in the medical field on the belief that by cooperating, we could actually make something really special together. Jason, who is actually right here behind the camera right now. Jason, who you know as the guy that we blame all the time on GT Live. Jason was Theorist's first full-time employee after me and Steph. He jumped in there when all we had was a kitchen table and a cat that he was constantly alerted to. And Sudafed, you have this man to thank for your current net worth. Because
Zyrtec.
And Zyrtec.
And Zyrtec,
You have taken so many pills over the years.
I have.
But
All medically prescribed, though, I promise.
yeah, no, good medical pills, not anything sketchy, for sure. But Jason is the man that we have trusted with the weight of the entire production process across all the channels for years. Like, this man is the unsung hero of everything you've probably ever watched across any of the channels. Without him, without you, these videos would get made. Don't get back there. You know, friends, but also to create awesome. And if you're unsung heroes on this channel, there is one man who also deserves a call out, and his name is Yossi. He is our audio wizard. He is the man who I have trusted with my for the better part of has had to suffer through hours of voice than anyone else in the world. I am so sorry for all the burps and weird edits and weird diatribes and jump scares that Ali has given me over the years. Was Yossi a pro when he first joined up with us? No. But you know what he was willing to do? He was willing to learn. And I've trusted him with my voice for the better part of 9 years. And the same goes for another member of the team who you've never gotten to see, but was actually there before the channel was even monetized, which is kind of crazy to think about. You don't know Dan Levin, but Dan was another one. He was the first who actually saw potential in me and in these channels as a whole, offering to become my manager, even though he had never managed a YouTuber before. He just jumped in with 2 feet and said, hey, I've never gotten a brand deal in the past, but think I could do it for you. And he did. And then he got me literally hundreds more. He has his own management company now, and he manages some of the biggest sports creators on all of YouTube. I can say with complete confidence that this company and my career would have looked totally different had it not been for Dan. And his career and his company would have looked totally different without me. He and I have built businesses parallel to each other, right next to each other, using cooperative game theory for over a decade. He trusts me to make good decisions on YouTube, and I trust him to make good decisions as my manager, and we both benefit in the long run. But perhaps the most important person in all of these trusting relationships is you. You guys, right here. I wear you on my wrist these days. You loyal theorists have been the best example of game theory in the history of the show Game Theory. Every time you click on one of these videos, you are leading with trust. You are saying, you know what, I'm going to give this one a chance, especially on those episodes that are covering topics that you've never even heard of. And on my end, I've always tried my best to fulfill on that promise and make sure that you're trusted by delivering a great, researched, fun, a lot of times stupid video. And yeah, there have been plenty of times where I've missed the mark, where you weren't happy about a topic, or where I said something wrong, or my research was bad, or whatever, and I needed to learn about that. And so you, acting exactly as you should, according to that trust game, you called me out in those moments. You showed me that I had made a mistake. But more importantly, you were willing to forgive. You gave me a chance to learn and grow as a person. And look, we all won. Look at the thing that we to build together. Don't give them here in the room, but like the rest of them downstairs. You guys, you've always been the most important member of this team, whether or not you ever realized it. And now, as new hosts step in, yeah, they're obviously going to have to learn a lot, and they're going to have to earn your trust just like I did over a prolonged period of time. But I hope that you approach them with the same sense of cooperation and goodwill that you did for me all those years ago. So, while I might be leaving as host to this show, Game Theory, it'll never leave. It'll never leave me, and it'll never leave you. We are all Game Theory, which honestly is why I thought it was fitting for you guys to be the one to say this.
But hey!
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Just a theory.
That's just a theory.
Okay, theory.
Class dismissed. Thanks for the theories, Matpat.
But hey, that's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory. Thanks for everything.
But hey, that's
Just a theory. That's just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
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 That's just a theory. That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
A style theory.
A food theory. A film theory. A game theory.
A game theory. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Thanks for watching.
Would you like to go in the bathroom, babe? Put in the passport in.
Where to?
I got something I gotta do.
Okay.
Ready for a road trip?
Guess.
Let's go.
You ready?
I've been expecting. Come, we have much to discuss.
Bye, Matpat.